Hello and welcome back. I'm Beeble Joan. This is Work Ascent Resources Soviet Republic Season 6. I am back a lot earlier than I thought I would. It's about a week past where the last episode ended in August sometime. But yeah, I thought I was going to do the power without you guys. And honestly, maybe I could have, but I want to do power today, and then I want to do something a lot bigger, which is we just need more money. I thought I was going to be fine on money, and that we will be, but I don't want to make this a, well, then I waited 6 years and paid off all the loans, and now we're back and actually doing something kind of behavior. So I have a couple plans in mind. One you probably already know, one you don't, and there may be a couple tricks up my sleeve for explaining how the electric grid actually works here. As you can see, everything's being built as it's supposed to, so that's wonderful. Yeah, electric grid. What do we need to understand? Well, everything needs power, okay? I do think there's a new overlay now, building properties. Nope. City planning overlays. Yep. Building network connections to power. Looks like this. If they're green, they have power. If they're not green, they don't have power. Beautiful. Put it up to 3,000 meters, and now you can see everything you ever cared about. So, what do we need to deliver power to? Well, everything. If you don't have to deliver to everything here, but for example, meat, you're not going to lose any more meat, which is, I would argue, a good thing. And then, yeah, just more. It would be nice if the overlay... Ooh, hold on. Hold your horses. Always show overlay. Yes. And even if I now click this, yes, the overlay is still on. Beautiful. So I can actually see stuff. That is perfect for what we're doing here. Is this not long enough to be a power connection? That is quite annoying, but okay, I guess. I would like to include all the distribution offices on this one lot. That looks good. So yeah, that's the first one. Next one, obviously right here. Right here, there's no secrets. There are no secrets. Nothing is weird, nothing is secretive, should be surprising from what you're seeing at this point. The surprising part comes later. Let's see, get out far enough to be useful. Sure, right there is fine. And then, yeah, we have a couple things out. Cool, something else is burning down again. And do we have people? Nobody's working here. That's great. That's exactly what I want to see. Is that because nobody is here? No, the 21 people there. Why? Where are you from? What fire station are you coming from? Are you from here? Yes, I already invited. Yeah, that's the vehicle. And it's the most expensive one, of course, because everything else would be silly. Yeah, that's going to burn down second time. But that is what it is. So, power. Let's actually talk about it for you. So what I'm doing here is to place these guys down. Cool, very simple. These guys don't say anything when you look at them, which is quite annoying, but it's okay because we have a substation over here. This one's overloaded, but honestly, don't worry about that too much because it has, it's connected to things that don't need continuous power. They just need power every once in a while. You just see what the max load is, not the current load. The current load you actually can see here, which is 0. Nobody's using any power right now, which is awesome. Cool. What do we see in here? Well, estimated maximum consumption is something out of 2.5 megawatts. You can also see that number down here. Very important, keep that in mind. 2.5 megawatts. How much is that? Really not a ton, but it is deceiving because the largest wire in the vanilla game that you can connect to the electric substation carries 2.35 megawatts. So even though this thing has a breaker of 2.5 megawatts, it can really only effectively supply at 100% of the time supplied 2.35 megawatts. Keep that in mind. It's important for a city. The power grid is dependency based. It's what you see here, the numbers here, like I just said, are the max numbers if everything will be turned on at 100% all the time. That almost never happens in most situations. Yep, that building that was burning over there burned down. Want to see it? Ooh, it's not that one. Which one burned down? Great. 2 buildings burned down. Why not? At least they're cheap to rebuild. It's a little annoying though. Yeah, so power does not need to be continuously flowing. It just has to be available when you actually desire it. And that's not all the time, but sometimes. So, supply power to something. Now, how do we figure out how much power we need? There's two neat tricks. Let's take the Nurple flats, for example, because this is probably a relatively common one that we use. Can you see where our wattage is displayed of how much we actually need per, well, on the grid connected? Yeah, me too. Says it right in the middle. 0.59 watts. Does that sound familiar to anything? Yes, it does. If you go look at the residential areas down here, there's Nurple flats over there, and it says max power consumption per day, 35 megawatt hours. Okay. What does that mean? Well, if you divide that by 60, you get 593. 60 minutes and an hour. Is it 60 minutes? Honestly, I forgot what that calculation was, but I think it's 60. It's not, or was it 24? No, it's 60. I'm pretty sure it's 60. 593 kilowatts. And if you look at the breaker, 0.59, 593 kilowatts. Yep, that's the one, because the breaker is in megawatts. Got it? It's in megawatts because all the lines and all the buildings that handle power are in megawatts. So 0.59. You remember what the maximum breaker for the substation was 2.5 megawatts. It would be nice if it says that in the info model, but it doesn't. So I'm just telling you, 2.5 megawatts is that's the most that this one can actually handle. Are there substations that have more connections? Honestly, I don't know. This one has 2 connections. Cool. I don't know that these actually work, so I don't want to run into that. High voltage substation. Oh, that's cute. So you can actually supply 18 megawatts to this one. That is quite interesting. I do approve. It's just, I don't know. It doesn't feel quite right. I haven't worked with these, so I don't trust them. It's really what it is. So yeah, 2.35, which means how many Nurple flats buildings can we put on one substation? Not a lot. So let's call it 0.6. After 3, we are at 1.8 megawatts, and then number 4, we're at 2.4 megawatts. So really just 4 of the large Nurple flat buildings are what we can connect to a substation. Feels a little awful. Maybe. It's just what the vanilla game does, so there's nothing that you can really do about that besides use the other connections, and you still have to run a ton of wires everywhere. So you're gonna find something that you don't like at some point, regardless of what you do. May as well just deal with it. So I'm gonna place these semi-strategically. I'm not the best at being strategic with these things, but let's start by just placing them across from. This is a heat exchanger, so that one could work. And that one is covering now this area. That's nice. I know that there's a substation already here, so this is all covered. We need a lot more in the center of town. Okay, so one here covers a little more. I want to go not too far away from what we have going on there, but we do have to make sure that we can actually build all these things where we want them. Yeah, you don't want to get built there. That's okay. I'll just pop you on this side, and we should be in better shape. That should be good. We're gonna need a lot of wires. I may try to be a little conscious of what we're gonna put down somewhere, but honestly, don't get your hopes up. The wire management in this game is just not made to be super pretty, unless you want to go underground, in which case it's also not super pretty, but it still gets the job done, right? So that's what's important here. There's one. This whole area over here, as you can see, there are four of the Nurple flats right here. So it's a very high density area that's very congested. In the last episode, I talked about problems with large residential buildings with water. Same thing here. If you have really high density buildings, then they can just not keep up with what you need to do for power. So just be realistic. That will get you some places. Let's get this one here, and then I would like actually one more that covers just a couple more Nurple flats potentially. That looks good. And yeah, these This is our starting point. We don't have to be perfect or anything right now. We just have to be sufficient. I don't know that construction offices can actually build this. I'm going to try and see what happens, but I'm not convinced that they can actually build that piece right there. Actually, let's just do this. Oh, you can get there. Wonderful. With that in mind, this is the power as far as I'm going to take it. It's going to take a while for all of this to get done. I don't know that we're going to have citizens coming in to this city before the next winter. It's just, there's too much to do. I still have to do all the wiring and all that stuff, and it's just not going to be pretty. Also, I only have, what do I have here? There's a switch right there, and there's a switch up here built in. We'll need a lot of power connections, and yeah, I'll probably make that a little pretty too, but first we need some time. First we need some time to do that. Good, we're running on normal speed because it is September, so things are heating up. There is another metro that is currently being exported, which is excellent. Somewhere, are you already here? You are already here. You are currently loading 1,000,000 ruble again. That's wonderful. That will get us some money. Let's turn this overlay off because then we can concentrate on the next big thing, which is more money. It's just, every time I build something, there's so much import happening that it is crippling. It is crippling. And that's just not good enough. So I have to fix that. How do I fix that? By overloading the network that I already have. Cool. Great idea. No, but all jokes aside, I built this a while ago, or I put this in place a while ago. There's a uranium mine here and another uranium mine here. Two of the uranium mines, I think they're about 50% capacity, and that is fine. But if I look at the map, yeah, I already clicked on the bauxite. There's also bauxite on top of this hill. The thing with bauxite is, which is why we started with bauxite, it's minimum worker intensive. Yeah, those are the words. So it actually makes a lot of sense to have that. Plus, I have a lot of space over here. A lot of space over here that's not doing anything, that's not being used. So I think we're going to build out this. It's not going to take a ton of workers. How many unemployed workers do we have in this city actually right now? Where are you? There's the building. We have 3,600 people, 500 unemployed. Average productivity is okay. Does the train, I don't even know if the train that goes out to the other place do anything silly, but we always have workers still parked or standing there that just come back and like, hey, now what? So let's give them something to do because it's pretty easy to get them to work out where I want them to work. Oh look, I actually put trees out this way too to like follow the road. But cool, so we're gonna do uranium, which I heard is worth a lot of money, and I think we can export via truck, and then we're gonna do more bauxite, which we just need more. That means we can just add more ships to our endeavor. The problem is this junction probably needs some work if we're gonna go that route. We already know that the thing that I was trying to do last time is not working. I cannot put a bridge here, but I would think I can put a tunnel here. Should I do that right now? My construction offices really aren't doing anything at the moment, so putting a tunnel here may not be the stupidest thing I can do in the meantime. F3 to see a little bit more. Yeah, you don't want to do too much right there. This. Let's see if we can spin this tail all the way out. There you go. You need to come out right up here. F4, let's turn the snapping off. Can you zoom a little further away? I don't want you to come out here. I want you to come out here. I do actually want you to snap to this. Just snap a little better. What is it? Q. Now you're underground. That's where I need you to be. And why is the curve so sharp? Just somewhere in here. Shouldn't be that hard. F4? No. F4. I had snapping off. Yeah, snapping us off. Why is it being so difficult? This is as flat as I can go, and then yeah, I just need to come up. Come up. Oh, there you are. Okay, so this is a very ugly bypass, but this will be functional potentially for removing a lot of traffic that goes through here that really doesn't have to go through there. So that will be helpful. Therefore, we're gonna just implement that right here, right now. There's one drag, and this one I'm gonna try to do a little better. Just this one, because it's just not quite right yet. I feel like we should be able to make this sufficiently okay looking. If I put you there, we have the same problem that we just had a second ago. So F4, turn the snap off, building in the way now. There you go. Just come out between the building and the existing rail, and then we should be in pretty good shape. Now, we learned that last time. Actually, here it shouldn't be as big as a problem, but that signal right there is not going to jive with what we want to do. So put this one here, put a mixed signal right in the middle there. There's a junction that goes that way. Same thing over here, junction going that way. There is a little bit of wiggle room here. That is nice, but I would like a little extra wiggle room. Was it the earliest that we could place this? Cool. So yeah, now we have train traffic because all of our distribution offices are sitting here. They're gonna go through this junction no matter what we do. But everything that goes out to the harbor and to the city and to all those places that has to go through this area hopefully takes this tunnel now. That would be excellent. We could say, well, add a tunnel to this side too, but because you cannot, actually I don't think you can, because you cannot put a junction in a tunnel, there's no reason for it. Otherwise, I totally would combine them this way. But we are where we are, and this should be fine. This should help alleviate traffic just a tiny bit. What is your problem? Your problem is that that thing is yellow. That thing is yellow for some reason. Just go. It should just be fine, because there's not really a different way for the cranes or for anything to do something. Now, should I put the tunnel borer in that location right now? Yes, it's a pretty long tunnel, so that would not be stupid, because the metro is not going to be done for a little while. So let's get me the tunnel borer. You're currently not doing anything anyways, and get you out here. So hopefully that gets done a little quicker. Very good. First problem. Attacked. Let's call it that. We haven't solved anything, but we've done something about it. Now, where am I going to get the rail connection that I care about? Well, we have to connect somewhere. There's a junction here already. We could kind of put another tunnel underneath all of this and come out here. Yeah, that would be an option. It does feel a little bit like cheating, but no, in a way, this is the best junction. The only problem is we have some power lines running here that are unfortunate. We have these power lines running here, but now looking at it, I think turning on F4, give me 2 extra pieces of track here. We're gonna, if we dedicate this just a little more than what I usually do, this may work out okay. Yes, this is already a terrible junction. I'm not worried about that. Give me F4 snap. Come on. Thought I had it on. Oh, you're not snapping on the same node. That's your problem. Okay, that's better. So I have rail coming out here. This will be the added thing, and that rail can figure out if it needs to go fuel up over there or whatever it needs to do. Now, if I, and I am not certain that it's gonna work, but if I ask to make this a bridge, 1, 2, 3. Let's go 3 high, this 4 out. Yeah, you know what? I don't hate this. Don't love it, but I don't hate this, because it enables me to do the thing that I need to do without making something completely ridiculous. Now, that bridge, we could argue, is a little long without pillars in the middle, but the game lets me do it, so why shouldn't I do it? We have that argument. I have that argument a lot. You don't have that argument at all, but I have that argument a lot. So there we are. It's also not aligning the pillars. Oh, it's not aligning them because they're different on that side than on this side. That is a little unfortunate. Let's see. If we continue this just a little bit here, just a tiny curve, then take out these two pieces, and then come in hot from this side. Does that make any difference? Probably not, but let's see what we have. Looks about the same, but the pillars on this side are at least they're all aligned. They're all much more aligned than they were a second ago, and I will count that as a win. Cool. So we are straightened out. I do need my not patented, but my way of finishing up junctions like this and things, which is raise it. How much do we have to raise you? A bunch. I don't like that the textures do that. But we do have to raise you up a bunch until it looks like that this is, and we're pretty close, honestly. I honestly think we're there. I'm going to take that away because that was not aligned very well with the existing bridges, and do this. We're not going to do that yet. Why? Because we don't have a flat height here. Wow, I have one bulldozer to do this, so let's make it count. Now we have a little plateau. That's great. Get me a piece of this. Hill causing obstruction is not what I want. Let's see. Are you? You're actually going up. You're actually going up. That is, well, something. Let's give me some height indicators. This number is that, and then give me the excavator one. Let's see, we're at 26 meters here. We are at 11 meters here. So 21 meters should honestly be about where that bridge is. I don't know that for sure, but 21 meters should get us pretty close to a relatively flat transition. Don't know how many ticks there are, and it would be nice if there was a tool that would tell me exactly how tall the bridge is, but hey, we don't have that. Let's not whine about it, and let's see what happens here. The game will try to keep the height of the pillars, not the height above ground, if that's something you're curious about. That looks relatively flat. I think that's a winner. Oh, come on. Oh, come on. I just sold a train for $1 million, and I still barely have money there. That should tell you how necessary this step is that I'm currently working on. Okay, should I leave this alone? Yeah, I can leave that alone for right now because I have to figure out where I'm going to connect all the things to. And, well, we're going to do that now. This one, how we're going to connect to this. You're going to go out there, you're going to go back here. Oh, yeah, actually, there's a switch over here that lets you get back on the other side of the track. So this is all taken care of. Wonderful. You guys are all waiting there because now someone is probably blocking you. Yes, that guy's blocking you, and there's another one coming in already. Yeah, this is going to slow down operations just for a little while. But as long as there's food here, which there should be, because I also have some trucks from the distribution office set up to bring food here, we should be okay. And we should continually making some money, even if we don't make 100% of the money that we had before. Awesome. All right, let's actually get this tackled. I think these are 50% uranium mines. So we have one 100% uranium mine, if we want to look at it that way. Advanced industry, no, that's not, no, there, that's where it is. You can produce 75 tons of uranium ore per worker. We have 100, so we're going to have, yeah, 75 tons of uranium ore. I just read it wrong, but I said the right thing. The uranium mine can manage 36 tons, so we would really just need one of these, fully manned, to do the thing that we need to do. Cool. All right, you have stuff coming in on that side. What all do you need? You need just uranium oxide, turn it into uranium ore. That actually sounds really lovely. So let's put that on this side of the mountain, just for now. Don't do that because we actually have to make sure that we can get down from the mountain where we are. This part is not the most exciting thing to watch. I get that. So I'm just gonna speed this up. Okay, that could have been a lot worse, but there you go. Now we have something that we can actually connect here. The next thing that we need is actually collect that material. So we need a couple engines that can actually pull this stuff in. Would be really cool if I can get everything connected on one engine. That would make me relatively happy. It feels like we can, but first this has to flip around because the road connection was on a terrible side. And two, this piece of road is not not helping the situation. But I think we can make that work. Now, you need to know that the pillars are a little different depending on from which direction you're coming from. So just replacing them like I just did should give me a chance to still get a relatively straight line here. That looks fine. Unfortunately, there's a small piece of crappy road. Well, I don't want to have a really short piece of road being constructed there. So this is what we're going to do. Make one piece that's a little... What are you doing? What are you doing? No. Get in there. No. Yeah, silly game. Let's get this down. This one honestly can just be a dirt road. There's no reason for this to be anything more than that. Just have to adjust the dirt road. F2 is your friend for getting these, what is it? Layout lines? No, gradients? That's not what it's called. I always forget. It's not that important. But now we have an engine right there that collects all the uranium from both of those places, which is all we wanted. Again, we're going to produce 75 tons, if I'm lucky, of uranium a day. How much do we need to store? Not a lot, because both of those will, all of that will be directly consumed right away. So there's no good reason to have a humongous storage here, which usually I just build as big as I can. In this case, I don't think for uranium there's any reason to do that. So let's just get a quick storage here. How much does a small storage store? 800. That is 10 days. 10 days. Is that enough? 10 days worth of uranium stored in here versus 20 days. I think it's enough because there's nothing in here that makes me think I will only partially staff either of these buildings most of the time. So yeah, 10 days should be totally fine. Let's get that assigned too. Wonderful. Next on the list, now we can connect the thing. And the thing in this case is the uranium processing plant. Let's flip that around so that the conveyor connection is on the side that I would like it to be on. Oh, there was a thing. Right there. If that's how close you have to be for making this whole thing work, that is fine. I think I can even make it so that we have one bus stop sitting here that goes to the uranium mine and to here. Wait a second. Is uranium done by excavators? I am honestly not sure. I rarely ever built these. Environment protection, max power consumption, stations for vehicle loading, unloading. No, I'm gonna go with this is still workers. This is not machines. Unless you use some mods. What's this one? The bugger. Bugger is excavator in German. Yeah, no, we're not going to use that. So that one outputs uranium oxide, I believe. Cool, that's worth money. You output 1.7 tons. Did I say we need 2? Forgot about that part. We do need 2 of these, so this has to be an engine, a conveyor engine. So let's get one right here. This has to be a splitter, which is one of the normal ones. Is that what we call it? Yes. It's funny that it wants to go back there, even though we don't need it. I would actually like you to go the other way, just like that, so you can connect to a road that's already there. That is now in the way of the conveyor, but that should be okay. Now let's get the 2 uranium processing plants connected. See, I don't like that the road is pointing that direction, so I would rather have... Actually, let's do the first one here. And we're also going to flip you around so the road is pointing the other way. Can't build. No, you can. You're fine. Put one here. That one has to be connected to something. And let's flip the other one just the opposite way, that there's a little bit of room in between. Not too much, and we don't want them to be connected that way, but not too much because this... And now I have to double check. Does uranium oxide... Uranium oxide does not go in a container, I'm pretty sure. But I rarely ever work with this, so I don't want to just assume. Uranium oxide goes in open storages. So, we can just connect an open storage medium, just like so. Of course not, because did you see how close they were together? That was just a dirty trick. I think what we have to do is just get the storage a little closer to what was going on here, and then see if we can coax these into peaceful coexistence, just like that. And now we have uranium oxide going in there. Very good. Now the question becomes, do we do one more step? The next step is a uranium conversion plant. You take 2 tons of uranium oxide and turn it into UF6. UF6 is the thing that that comes in containers, I'm pretty sure, but we have to use chemicals for this. Okay, that's not the end of the world. What really matters here is which one makes the most money, because I have no interest right now of a nuclear power plant because it's absolutely overkill. We don't need it. There's no need for it, even though I always go super big. This would just be ridiculous. Let's start them on doing some of this stuff, please. You go there. Can you connect to something here? Yes, you can. Let's get you assigned. And yeah, construction office 1, do something. So let's look at the money makers. What can we actually gain out of this? So we have, where are you? Uranium oxide. No, I didn't look at this beforehand. That's boring. 5,200. Okay. 5,200, and the what is it? Translation conversion is effectively 1 ton of UF6 to 2 tons of uranium oxide plus chemicals. I'm gonna ignore chemicals because then the math gets a little more complicated. But you can put this in a spreadsheet and tell me exactly what the right number is. But it's effectively, is UF6 more than double the value of uranium oxide? Is really what we care about. Well, let's see. I can't even see UF6 on here. So let's see, uranium oxide. Where I saw you a second ago. Uranium oxide, 5,200. Okay. How do I find out what UF6 is worth? I can't even look at this, and it won't tell me. Economy and trade. Current prices on the market. I don't see UF6. There's UF6. 24,000 per ton. So I take 2 tons, that is 10,000 for uranium oxide, and I make 24,000 for it. Now I have to consider how much chemicals are. Chemicals per ton are 5,000, which means 0.2 tons is about a fifth. That's almost 6,000. That's about a fifth of this, so we are looking at 1,100. So yeah, 11,000 plus this. No, 11,000. It costs about 11,000 in material and in production to turn uranium oxide into UF6, and then UF6 makes you 24,000. So you double that again. Is that worth it? We need another 120 workers. That's 320. Plus we need to set up for chemicals, plus all that other stuff. Is it worth it? Probably. In my current setup, I don't think I want that, just because it will just take more and more workers that I don't have. I don't have another 500 workers in this city. There's no way. We're already going to have to add more workers to the city to make this work. There's a little bit of room out here that I left, and probably out here, but yeah. Now the good thing here is I can run all of this via truck. There's no need to run this with trains, which in and of itself is cool. The other thing that's cool is I can just add the production line if I really feel like it down the road. What are we looking at pollution here? Environmental pollution 8.4 tons. My comparison is always the heating plant. The regular one does 26. So there's not a lot of pollution coming in there. We're checking. Happiness is low, but this happiness is high, so that should be fine. We are relatively close to the city, so I don't want to add too much pollution to that either. What is this? Nuclear fuel fabrication. You take UF6 into nuclear fuel. Very good. Okay, do I want this? I mean, I would just need one of these, if ever. So just one of these. May as well place it down, see what happens. I don't think I'm going to build this, but if I ever want it, it's right there, and then all I need afterwards is a simple yet effective container loading station. We'll put that right there. We get this here. This is just planning out a little bit ahead. I don't think I will ever need this. But now this one can run straight line out here. This one could connect to wherever this wants to connect to. And we are in a pretty good space. Besides, this thing still has to be connected. That is the bane of just existence, because this thing never ever has a good connection angle. Let's see if I can fake one. We get through there, get through here. Yeah, we can connect. At least we have a straight piece of rail. It's just that's always an very awkward spot to be. I'd like to connect to this. All the excavators are currently busy, so we're not going to worry about that. Again, these two not going to get constructed. I just don't feel like that's ever going to happen. So this is fine. Something that I can consider here is put a quick bus station right at the end of this, because that will at least consolidate my... Ooh, not the big one. That will at least consolidate my my workforces that we have to send up here. Get that one there, and then we can do some footpathing to all these places if we really want to. Now you... Wow. Didn't expect that you actually go up that mountain like that, but yeah, now you are connected to that station, or to that thingamajig already. I think this is too much to ask. There has to be a separate bus that goes up to that line, but it's 100 people, so I don't want to overload the line anyways. Cool. That's all taken care of. Beautiful. Do your thing. F2. How are we doing? We are at 40 minutes. What? Great. Exactly where I want to be. Also, I don't think I have excavators right now available here. How are we doing on power? All the power things. Nothing. Wow, you are just not constructing fast enough for my taste right now, because too much stuff is waiting. What is our problem? You need work. Ooh, there are no workers coming through here. That is probably what's happening. You currently have workers, but you just don't get in there often enough for it to matter. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes perfect sense. I should probably disallow a construction crane to enter on this side, because on this side there's at least a bypass that can go through the rail distribution offices to do the construction. Is that worth it? I don't know. Those things also have to happen. Now it feels like this will be we'll come back in 6 years anyways, because there's so much stuff still to make happen here, but whatever. What's your problem? You're just parked here, and all the passengers are parking here. That's lovely, isn't it? What's our deal? Yeah, you're parked. Should have done all of this beforehand, and I shouldn't have built this junction in the first place. This junction was a huge mistake. Very big mistake. I figured there's one alternative. This one I can connect with a really long, like, go around the mountain type thing to this junction, and that would help a little bit, but honestly not that much either. This is just going to take a while until this is completed and done. Where are you going? You are going to... Oh, up there, that tunnel. Yeah, it's fine. I'll be okay. We'll get there. I still have some money. That's the main thing. I still have money. Cool. More bauxite setup. How much bauxite can we produce? I don't know. Let's see how many mines we can actually fit here. Is it advanced? Is it advanced? No, it's not advanced. It's clearly metallurgy. And we want the bauxite mine. You may ask, why don't you just turn on the iron mine that you already have set up on near the rail production line? To which I would say, nah, it's not as good. I should probably flatten out this mountain, and I'm glad I'm starting on this side with my building because that's what I will have to do. I see a lot of green, just not enough. Yeah, I don't have enough vehicles. That's not going to happen. That is not going to happen at all. I know that my connection is going to be down here. I know that I'm going to have a road going from right there. Again, we don't need any workers up here. This is just for fire protection. So we're going to have a road going up there. We're going to have a couple of workers going down in this area. I could have tried to put a gondola system in here, but that sounds like work. Cool. Cool. Yeah, I would like more bauxite because that would help. At least getting stuff out to, you know, here. Wait, why are you building this? Don't build that. That's not important. This stuff over here is important. That's what I want you to build. How are we doing? How are we doing, everyone? How there are no workers? Yeah, we're just workers are not coming through anymore because of this thing. Overextended as usual. Something I can probably do. Yes, we have a lot of workers there. Our unemployment also shot through the roof, which makes me think our food is still fine. Let's get a couple buses. Let's get a couple buses going, bigger buses, so we get construction moving again. How fast do you go? 70. Can you go a little faster? I like the big bus, but I need it a little faster. No, total capacity. Click the wrong button. Okay. These are all mods. Icaros, yeah, you go 100, but 45 people is just not enough for the construction that I'm imagining. And I am not convinced that this guy is fast enough. Maybe it is. We're going to invite that one, and then we'll see if that can carry people from here, just down the road, all the way to here. Well, actually, this one will be the... No, this is fine, because this still spreads out people as long as I turn on the transfer option. This is what we're going to do. You go here, here, and here, and then we're good to go anyways. I will set the transfer option, which will just keep a couple people at least there, and then they can go wherever they want to go. Wonderful. Is this episode any good? Or is what I'm doing in this episode any good? I honestly don't know, because, yeah, locking down this junction even more right now, it's not really the best thing I can do. But it is something I can do, and at least we're building something now with the bigger crane. That's very helpful. Has anyone started on this yet? Nope, and I don't want you to. I don't actually want you to. Yeah, build everything from the other side. That's right. That's exactly what we need. What should I do here? I need really bulldozers to flatten this thing out. Okay, let's get some bulldozers then. Give me a road depot, just a dirty one. 4 are not going to be enough, but it's a good start. 1, 2, 3. Now this is 12. 12 bulldozers will make something work. I'm pretty sure about that. So let's just buy them because I am impatient. Bulldozer. This is the biggest one. There's this nuclear bulldozer. Seraph. I know. It will make things a lot different, but not yet. Not yet. Give me these. We have some money right now to spend, so may as well do that. And then I think once they get here, they can get some fuel from the surrounding areas, which is important. Fuel is important, I heard. Yeah, I would like to put something up there. Let's see if we can speed this up a little. We have this bus here now. May as well give you a try, because if you are good enough, I have no problem assigning the transfer option over here. Don't load. Very important, if you set the transfer option, do not load at the same station. Otherwise, they always unload first and then they load again, so everyone that you drop off is not going to stay there. Yeah, let's see if you're good enough. Go. It's picking up from the wrong side. That's okay. You're picking up passengers? Why? No. All we want is workers with enough education to go work. That's all you're supposed to do. So please don't get distracted. All right, even going the long way, our travel time on vehicle is 2.5 hours, so that is fine, and that should keep the city moving at least, and that is good enough. Gosh, everything is just locked down. Where is currently? Why are you stopped? You're stopped because just annoys me. So you're stopped because you're not a chain signal. That's fine. This one is stopped because it's red in here, and it's red in there because this guy's parked here. Yes, you're the problem. We don't want you anymore. We're going to disallow anyone entering from that side, and that should take care of that for the time being. And now you can just turn around. I don't know, should I send the little ones to the... Yes, I should. I should send the little cranes, all of them, both of them. Where are you? You're the good one. To our rail depot, just for right now, because they're slowing us down. They're silly. I will move this once you're done here. Now, I can tell you to go get out of my face. And then the large crane and the tunnel borer should be able to take care of all this stuff. While the tunnel borer is not even here yet. What did I did assign it to go. Where did it end up? Where is it? When is it going to make it? Vehicles that are heading to this office. Yeah, all vehicles. Tunnel borer, where are you? Oh boy. That is stupid. That is just stupid. This guy has no business doing whatever it's doing right now. I don't want to have to rebuy you. That is so annoying. Why would you do that? It's just been hanging out here for the last whatever long. And I can't even send it home with Control H. Go to depot. Go to this one. That is so annoying. It cost me 200,000. That is very frustrating that the game would let me do that. That is not right. Should I have waited until it was ready to go? Yeah, probably, but I didn't want to, so I didn't. Now I just lost $500,000 because the game let me do something that it should not let me do. Details. Details. Yeah, I should have totally waited until that tunnel borer was in the other rail construction office, but I didn't. So leave me alone. You guys are locked and loaded. Did you refuel while you were doing stuff? You have enough fuel to do whatever you need to do. Cool. So now this is another trick that I have up my sleeve, where you go level terrain height from center. You press F2. You find the frame that you want, and now you go across the whole mountain. It's easier to do it for the whole mountain top than just on the side, because the side you have to actually spread out and be very patient. Here should be a little faster, just not a lot faster. You know what? I bought the vehicles. I have the fuel that I need, but this is going to take forever. And this is not even a joke. I thought this was going to move a little faster, but it's not. It's not going to move. So I'm going to show you something that you can do. I'm not the biggest fan of it, I will say, but sometimes it feels like the only sane option, unless you want to. Well, nuclear bulldozer could work here, totally, but I am not willing to do that. Instead, what we're going to do is cheat, but sometimes I cheat and do things a little wrong. So first, highly recommend that you save this. Okay. This is the season, very important. Episode 22. No, this is 23.1 because the first save here. So if I have problems, I always go back. Great. That shouldn't be surprising. Now, CHE. Press them at the same time. Cheat mode activated. I'm going to pause because I don't know. Oh, we're almost in winter. Also don't want to go there. We're going to pause. And then we're going to go into settings. System functions? Nope. General debug, yes. We can go into, I haven't done this in a really long time, so I'm actually surprised that I still know this. Landscape editor, very important. Good. The menu's on the side now too, because why not? We need terrain. We need to level. Wow. FC, what's that stand for? Oh, from center. There we go. That's the one that I wanted the whole time. Now you can just smooth it out until you have a nice flat plateau here, and I'm sure the nuclear bulldozer does something very similar. I only recommend this when you're really frustrated with how the game does terraforming, because this would have taken me probably an hour, and I'm going to go to bed in like 20 minutes. I'm not going to do this for an hour tonight, and then a little bit more tomorrow, and so on. So let's go back to the previous save that's not screwed up yet. Then we do the same thing. And then, and only then, can we build the bauxite setup that I wanted to build up there. So it seems like there was a couple things that were wrong. Some bug that if you load into cheat mode from a previous save, then apparently you have unlimited money. That's annoying because that's part of the fun in this game. The other thing, I think everything was green earlier. I don't know what's going on with that, but let's smooth this out, and you can actually help this. Like the cliffs that you create from the terrain editor from the cheat menu are a lot steeper than what you can do in the normal game. So we can smooth out the cliffs just a little bit, and now we have this nice little plateau that we can actually do something with. Is it something I would do every time? No, but if, again, you play the game the way you like, you don't have to be perfect, and I'm not going to sit here for an hour, sorry. That's just not going to happen. So, advanced stuff. No. Metallurgy, yes. Bauxite mine. How many can we fit in here? 50% is really what I'm shooting for. So let's go here. 40, 40, 40. 50% is right there. But then we can go a little closer. I want as much out of this as humanly possible. This one clearly has a 50%, so that looks fine. I don't know how I'm going to align all of these. Somehow I will, I just don't know how yet. That one is fine. Now we get into the situation of you can min-max this with nice diamond setups. Now I'm going to place all the mines first because I don't actually know how big our resource deposit here is. It looks like it's really, really pretty good size. So that is 998, perfect. 60 is definitely worth it. Oh, this is a lot richer than the other deposit that we had. Also, it is richer because we can build on a lot more area. So cheating helps a little bit every once in a while. You just have to be able to live with it. There's another 50%er here. The other ones we could use, but really don't need to. So there's a lot of bauxite coming in for here. Great. We still have to connect them. I think what we're going to do is connect them out. So I could turn all of these over. That we have 3 connectors here, 3 connections here, 3 connections here, and 3 connections there. I kind of like that. So let's get our conveyor engines. Looks something like this. That conveyor engine, is that going to work? I think it's going to be fine. We're just going to start here. Control and bulldozer deletes all of them at the same time, but you still have to let the game run forward. I hit space twice to make that happen. So we got that in there. We go back to metallurgy. We go bauxite mine. And now we just align them. Again, I want my 50%. Guess I should start a little further back here. 50%. More than 50% and 50-ish%. Gosh, this is going to be complicated doing it this way, isn't it? Yes, it is. That's what I need. You see what the problem is with the vanilla engines? They're terrible. That's the problem with them. So, 3 out, 1 in it is. It's just the way that the road connections cannot be made afterwards is so frustrating that I'm just not doing that anymore. It's just not worth the effort. And yeah, no, now we're here. Let's put the other ones in. Cool. That gets me to a pretty good stopping, well, not stopping point, but almost stopping point. I have now, well, several things connected, but I'm kind of stopping because engines have a much lower throughput than you might think. I think it's 300 tons, something around that, maybe 600 tons. I don't know what it is, but all of these bauxite mines connected can produce more. So I guess this one's just a single 3 of them. This one is a single 3 put together, and then this is 3 plus 3. That is 6. They're all put together. So what I'm going to do is just extend them to the edge, and we can actually use vanilla conveyor belts in this case because, well, if I can. Yes, that one is fine. I'm putting them really tall because I want to be able to actually get down from the mountain here, hopefully pretty soon. Yes, yes, yes. All that is good, and there looks to be a pretty good through situation for the next thing. Is this as tall as you can go, really? Kind of. Oh, this may just be too long. This may just be too long. That's a different kind of problem. Yes, that is fine. Yes, it would be a lot cheaper to just do one engine to make all of this happen, like to combine the engines together, but that is not what I'm about. This one, I do hope that I have a couple no, I don't have excavators. Should have known that. I do have a couple bulldozers, so I can flatten this out because the terrain actually interferes with your constructions, as you know from almost everything else that this game does. But if I put a little gully here, we should be able to put a conveyor engine a little further down from where we were. EE to get the highest setting, and that doesn't feel like we are much further than we were before. Oh, there we go. Wasn't all the way up yet. Yeah, this is fine. TRR to flip it, and here we are. I do have to connect them via, road later on, but that is something I will worry about then. I don't think I need another engine yet because we can, there we go. We can just connect them to the large aggregate storages, and that's what we're gonna do. Flip you around, and then you can fill this one up. I will figure out here how much we're actually producing because that will be important, but this is supposed to make me extra money, so making this big is kind of the idea. And we can even export just the raw bauxite. There's nothing stopping us from it. That would not require any workers and would make a pretty good amount. So it's something I'm semi-considering. Oh, come on! Let me do this thing. We're too far away from something. I need to switch these out for excavators. I don't want to do that right now. Okay, where do we want to place the thing? Usually I do this with excavators instead of bulldozers, but in this case, I guess I can't. Right there is where I need the bulldozers. Okay. Bulldozer, yes. Height from center, yes. Somewhere here. I just need a flat spot. I don't need anything crazy. Just a semi-flat spot where a really small building can be placed on. Maybe that was already enough. Yes, it was. EE. Cool. There you go. And then get me another storage down here. Beautiful. And I don't have excavators either. Of course not, because nothing changed. We're still way too far away from everything else. So we're going to do this, flatten everything out, and that should be more than a big enough flat spot for what we care about. Wonderful. There we are. Now, we get all the bauxite done here. Obviously, we need power, and we need a road up there. The road we can probably build right now. You can go here. You apparently need to connect to that. Might as well connect you there then. There's a road connection there already. It's just saying that it isn't. I have to get this down the road. Too steep of a descent. I'm aware. But we also don't have any excavators available, so I need to figure that out without you guys. The next thing that we need is what is our current production of bauxite here? These are all about 50% mines, I think. Yeah, let's call them all 50%ers. Well, there's an 80. There's a 77, so it's not 50%, but what is this, 6? One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 of them are too much for 2 bauxite mines to produce. 2 bauxite mines are producing about, or consuming about 125, so 250 tons of bauxite. Over here, we don't have 6, we have 12. So let's say I can produce approximately 500 tons of bauxite here. You can map that out a little better, but 500 tons of bauxite a day just with excavators, which means it's constant. We're never going to have to adjust anything there. We could put 4 bauxite processing plants here, but they will rely heavily. I like what I'm thinking right now, because I can set this up so that they either go through the bauxite processing plants or they go to the they will just get picked up as the bauxite is. I like that, but we're at the end of the episode now, so I'm going to set that up next time. I'm kind of excited for that because someone was talking about that before, and you effectively build a bypass for your settings, and that is pretty cool. Pretty cool, I would say. I just have to set it up in a way that the conveyor engines can actually handle that much throughput. Otherwise, it's just going to be slow, but it should be fine. I will figure it out. Don't worry about me. I'll be just fine. F2, can we get a nice shot of leaving because it's about to start snowing now, which is always lovely. Oh yeah, those guys. Hey, you, tandem guys. Which one of you is going to stop or go home? That one. I picked the right one. No, that's good. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that was helpful for someone. I know I still have to do the power connection on that side. I hope what I did on the junction will help. Because we need it, and yeah, that's what we have for now. Thank you so much for watching, really appreciate it. As always, this will continue until it's done and working, or is a flaming ball of fury. Don't know which one's going to happen, but something's going to happen, and until then, have fun. Bye bye. Thanks for watching.